Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier. It's time.
All right, so I've
delayed this.
I've got a whole minute. I want to just rush through Yaromir's bags to see if there's any obvious healing equipment that might help me.
Yaromir, do you have any obvious healing equipment in your bag?
Well, there's a small mirror and some sling stones and a tinder box and oh yeah, a med kit.
There is a med kit in his backpack.
All right. How does that work?
Advantage?
Well,
I like how the lowest intelligent knight is the one to think of the med kit.
So what we're dealing with here on Yaromir is this axe has hit him, and his lung is his rib is slightly broken, sticking out of his body and slightly into his lung.
Yeah.
We're gonna just, we're not doctors here. We're just making this shit up on the fly, so this is probably not a livable condition. But in this situation, if you can bring the bone out of the lung or whatever and stitch it up with the needle and thread provided, it should be a fairly simple task.
This is field dressing. I don't think you need to stitch it. You just
to stop the bleeding is just you want to bring the wound together. So give it a quick stitch and a bind with bandages.
A bandage. Yeah.
For future reference, I'm pretty sure in this time period, a pierced lung is more or less
It's
a death
fine.
sentence.
You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So I was going to say a +5 to your bonus, but I think I like advantage way better. That's a cool system.
Advantage is effectively like a plus 3.3.
It depends on the goal. The roll.
Yeah, I mean, on
trying to
average,
get.
it comes out to about a plus 3.3.
So
This is
2d20
a debate for another
d1
day.
plus your intelligence score.
All right.
Don't roll 2 ones.
Don't roll 2 ones. Come on. 29.
Ooh,
Yes!
Thank God for that
25.
advantage. Otherwise, that would have been a
That's a 25.
Yeah.
yes.
That's a
You can,
stable.
by the way, you can do D1 and it will drop the lowest one.
Oh yeah,
automatically.
sorry. Yeah, I know.
No worries.
That works.
All right, so you managed to repair the injury enough that he's not going to bleed out at this moment, but he still needs proper care and attention.
Yeah, I think
He's
we all
not
do.
out of the woods, but he's just not going to die this instant. Okay. Let's do initiative.
Okay.
Oh God! How many arrows do they have in their quivers? Are you
Oh,
counting?
I forgot about their second shots. I've only been giving them one attack per round. What am I
I
thinking?
think by now have we hit the deck? Can I get some kind of cover?
Do you want to hit the deck right now?
Yeah, sure. To escape the second volley? Yeah.
You see the second
I
volley
haven't moved
coming.
it all this round.
Yeah.
Where do you go? Where do you hide?
I mean, there's 7 bodies piled up here. I
a bunch
find
of
a
bodies,
nook
yeah.
somewhere that will give me cover. I don't know what you're
All
saying.
right,
will
so
give
you're
me cover.
hiding behind these 2 bodies. So you jump to the ground behind
Yeah,
them,
and we both have
standing,
cover at
laying
this
on
point.
top of your own A body. So there's you're on one, and then there's 2 stacked in front of you.
Yeah.
But the volley unleashes. That die is gone forever. At you, Grimes. Let's see. The 4 is a miss. The unmodified 8 is a miss. The unmodified 9 is a miss. The 15 might hit you, so we need to
Is
cut
it
this-
modified or is that a 15?
That's an unmodified 15, so it
So
should be
then
plus
my
1
AC
for
is
plus 1 for
My AC is
for the
15, I'm getting
shot.
cover.
Then if you've got at least 25% cover, which you do, is -2, which brings it to a 14 total.
That's
So
enough.
there's some long misses, and then there's an arrow that comes through the knoll in front of you and stops at your nose.
There's nowhere to go, right? We can't retreat.
There's the exit.
No, yeah, we can.
This is the doorway.
I want to get. That's actually Ferris is he
Hang on,
sees
though.
William stitch up Yaromir and the bleeding has stopped for the moment, and he says, "Drag his body around the corner. We need to get out of this corridor."
What if we make more Molotov cocktails and hide behind these bodies and throw them over?
Can't we do that from around the corner?
Let's roll initiative.
Let's roll initiative.
Oh, it feels good being out of initiative. More bleeding.
Everyone make their rolls.
Wait. So if I want to, I'll just do 5
So-
in case I need to make an attack.
So what's the plan? Are we? I guess.
So here's a
William's
question.
doing the
Just
same time
before
as
we
me.
do the whole Molotov. I'm sorry, I just ran all over you, Ryan. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're fine. Go ahead.
The Molotov cocktails take multiple turns because you have to pull them out, then light them and throw them, right? Could we set up a situation where William pulls them out, gets them ready,
So-
and then somebody else comes, lights them, and throws them? So it's
Yes.
It takes 2 turns. We can throw them in a single round.
Yes,
This
you can
is-
get
yeah.
1 per round if you do that, or if each person's doing their own.
This
then
is
it's
a thing, but it's danger. We'll talk about it another time. Or you can go watch the Shenanigans episode where I play the GIF fighter who carries around Molotov cocktails, and he dies in a fiery blaze of glory as you'd expect to result in. So we should not be strapping William down with explosives.
Maybe we should
Long and short of it.
maybe
Kill
the
Marshall.
bad plan is
It's your
to-
turn.
All right, I think the plan is to let's get out. So I'm going to grab Yaramir. I'm going to go around the corner. I'm going to
Okay.
place Yaramir down, and I'm going to wait with my sword for something to run out afterwards, and I'm going to just like cut down any gnoll that tries to follow me out.
Okay.
All right, I will do the same. I'll help William with the body if he needs it, but he probably doesn't.
Yeah,
and I
okay.
guess ready a dagger attack outside. There's not much of an outside the dungeon. That's why I was asking if we can't retreat. Like, isn't it just a small landing that we can't even take cover on?
It's no. There's room on the landing. I'm drawing it for you right now. Marshall. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Everyone's retreating, right?
Except for me,
Yeah,
right? I'm
Farron's-
going to be retreating.
But you're
Basically,
going-
I'm crouched behind the bodies right now, so I have cover, and my goal is
Yeah.
going to be to basically just crouch backwards and like shimmy out the door.
Okay.
I'm going to go around the corner and just get ready to cut down whoever runs out through the exit.
Sure. So we're just kind of going to create a little off-map section here. This is more or less the landing that you guys are at. There is actually I should
Like, you're
draw.
going there. I'll go here. I mean, I think we
Or
take
the-
one
Here,
body.
there's
right?
like
okay, sure,
this is
yeah.
actually a doorway, so there is a little bit of extra cover here. It's a 5x5, a 5-foot wide doorway. So you
Okay.
can drag these guys over here. The archers take shots at Ferris while he is behind 4 stacked
Crouched behind
bodies
4
now.
bodies.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna have 90% cover, which is a huge penalty to hit for them. But they make their first volley. One is not the 18 is the closest to hit, but even
That's not gonna get it.
No,
Yeah, you
they would
do
need
it
a nat 20 to hit you. Yeah, that becomes an 11, a 12.
Yeah.
So after the volley of arrows, Ferris hops to his feet and
Yeah.
darts around the corner.
Yeah, I just like crouch out the door. So like, if you've ever played like Jedi Academy, how you could like sort of march forward while crouched, I do that except literally backwards.
Yeah. And you guys are now outside. There's this precarious ledge that is cliffed off, like right here. This is all cliff or high cliff. And then the areas that I'm about to do in like a blue are fall to your death cliff.
Okay.
So how do we get down?
Well, there's a switchback staircase, or there's the staircase that the gnolls have created that allows you to climb down.
It's like a series. Isn't it like a series of ladders?
Yeah, it's like handholds and ladders and all this weird sort of stuff.
Okay, it's where
That's
the yellow
right
is.
there.
All right.
Yes.
Grimes, with how many we've killed, it might be time for you to try your negotiations. Perhaps you can get them to lay down their arms.
Oh, because we have nothing if not demonstrated our trustworthiness. I guess I'll shout down the hall in no.
What do you shout?
Have I typed anything? Yeah.
I feel like we win this. I feel like we win this fight if they come through.
Yeah.
But I'd rather not fight at all.
Yeah, but I would.
I'll shout down the hallway. Bokassa is slain. Your wolves are dead. You are next if you do not surrender.
There are howls of anger. They're not even words. They're just like raging howls of wolves and gnolls inside, and it just echoes out to you. It sounds like dozens of people.
Doesn't sound good, does it?
No,
So I think we wait.
I think our chance to negotiate is long past.
Remember that the reverberations through the tunnel makes it sound like more than there is. I'm willing to probably like 12 to 14 left when we came in.
Yarmir speaks to me.
So Neal,
Yaramir drops some wisdom from in
way
his
this-
sleep.
the way the switchback is, how hard is it going to be to get Yaramir down the cliff?
It'll be difficult.
Like,
Can
could
you
anyone
carry him
do it
without
apart
being
from me?
You are probably the only person that can carry him down the cliffside. Maybe Grimes could fashion some sort of harness and lower him down the cliff if he had sufficient rope.
I could absolutely jury rig something, but that would put us at if the gnolls decide to pop out and shoot arrows at us while we do this.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
Well, I think we stand up. We
How uncomfortable
about
would you be
here on the
carrying
landing?
Yaramir's body?
for a little while.
Why don't we make some Molotovs?
Smoke them out.
Well, just try and. I mean, if they're still
Yeah.
waiting there, can we? Is there a?
Slide me your pack or your whatever.
Yeah. All right. I'll chuck it over to.
All right. you
It's
chuck it
probably
over to
worth
Grimes.
noting that Nash was carrying a decent chunk of our food. We might want to go back in.
Yeah, I think I genuinely think that our best bet is to kill these guys and camp out in this cave for a few days.
So I'll prep another Molotov cocktail if the oil is available.
Yep.
Presumably William watches me set
All
it up and fashions similarly. If he doesn't have
Yeah. All right. So we break up
plenty
to.
of bandages available in that med kit, put it to good use.
All right, you're gonna basically go through the med kit for bandages.
No, I think we have cheaper fabric. I would hope.
Unless you have other fabric on you, you have so far been like using your clothes to
My
create these
scarf
things.
could be an option because I gave that to Yaramir. And he was carrying it on him, so he probably still has it on him.
All right. Well, we'll
Yeah,
deal with what it was
probably
later.
I guess probably cutting from my rope or from my cloak
Right.
at the bait.
So-
maybe it's
Grimes, you're gonna get this first Molotov cocktail done right away. How are you going to deploy it? Is it like a blind throw down the hallway with really no idea where you're tossing it? Or are you gonna step out into the middle? Or what how are you chucking this?
I'll expose myself for a second to I'll peer around the corner and give it a real throw. So I'll move to there.
Okay, so you're gonna be
Partial
like 50%
cover
cover, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you get this and chuck it, there are indeed, I'm just gonna move them. They're actually a little bit further back, but I'm gonna move them to here so you can see them. There's like those four knolls where the two of them are dead center and then the other two are on the sides. And they all have readied shots. So the moment you step
I
around
warned
the
you.
corner to chuck, yeah.
Okay. I should have 90% cover, right? I go head first. I guess I don't know how much cover I need to uncover in order to throw my own thing. But,
Yeah, I think you need 50% cover to get a real clear shot at them. Are you left-handed or right-handed, Grimes?
I am right-handed, which does inconvenience things. Although I'm pretty. Let's see, left hand would still be like a minus.
I'll just
Keep
give you
doing
a
wheels,
minus.
right? Is there no
Left hand is only a -1, so I'll probably throw left-handed.
All right, just a -1 because of your high dex.
Yeah.
So you're gonna chuck it. You're at 50% cover, so they have a minus.
So make your
4 to
attack
hits.
to me as I expose myself.
All right. The highest that they roll is an 8 against you. 2 8s, a 9, and a 4.
Now, Hero's all ready to lawyer for my bonus melee because I'm certainly making a missile attack. Yeah,
Yep.
bonus missile.
Go for it.
Grenade
They're
of my own.
60
Yeah.
feet away from you. I think that's probably short range.
60
maybe?
feet? I have no idea.
Medium
I think
range?
it's probably more like 10, 20, 30. Are they really that?
20, 30 yards. Yes, that's probably
it's
medium
10, 20.
range, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's medium range.
So that's a -2 to hit. Roll me
Okay,
roll a hit.
including that minus. So I'll include that -2, bring me a total of -1. I am not at the bottom.
All you need is a 10.
All right, there we go. 14.
14's
Yeah.
perfect. It lands directly on one of the knolls. Roll me 2d6 for damage to that knoll.
7, and then a d6
And
nearby.
roll me a d6 for all the creatures nearby.
Oh, only 1.
All right.
All right.
And then as soon as Grimes backs out, I'm gonna follow up and do the same.
Okay. So they are
Can you
still
just-
reloading and do not get
Yeah.
a shot off at you. So go ahead and make your attack roll. You're right-handed, right?
Yeah, right-handed.
You can take your strength bonus
Yep.
with hurled weapons.
Go for it.
But I'm unproficient, or
No, you're
No,
proficient. You're just
yeah.
throwing a thing.
so it'd be the same as throwing a javelin.
Correct.
21.
Boom! You toss it on the next knoll next to him. Roll me 2d6 for burning damage.
Fuel to the fire.
Oh, and do you give me a d6 for damage to adjacent knolls?
Boom.
Oh my god. You bring down 2 instantly. This is a -5. Wow, bring down a 3rd. And a 4th. So between the 2 Molotovs, you set 5 knolls on fire and they burn to their deaths right away. 3 other knolls in that area are splashed with burning oil and they break in yelps and screams as they and their comrades begin to burn to death.
Ferris, can you pot shot them?
I could.
Can you hear
yeah.
them break?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with 2 Molotovs going in, there's nothing else I can really do. Can I just like step around and start taking shots at anyone who's still in there?
Sure.
I do have infravision as well, so I
Sure.
can see.
Well,
far
there's
enough.
also daylight streaming in. That's not a
Oh,
problem.
okay. Yeah, so I'll
So-
just.
And there's a giant fire.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm
Two
ambidextrous.
pints of
Yeah, so I'm
oil.
ambidextrous, so I switched to
Flame.
holding my bow the other way around this time.
Nice.
Hold
Give
it
you a
right,
roll to
shooting
hit.
left, and shoot out from behind cover. So +3 to hit.
Back attacks.
Yeah, so it'll be 15 if there's any back
3,
attack bonus.
13's a hit. You get
Okay.
1 before the rest of them scatter like
Takes another
cockroaches.
4.
And that one drops to the ground as well.
Beautiful.
Nice.
How many do you see, Faris?
How many? So the rest ran behind cover at this point?
Yeah, so at this point,
I
this
see
is what
fire,
you're
and the rest of the gnolls have vanished.
You're
there's
seeing
6 dead?
something like
Ferris,
this right
Ferris
now.
counts and then tries to get a second count.
Yeah, you're seeing something like that.
Oh, let me pull up the map here. I've got the PDF open. There we go. I count 6 dead gnolls plus the ones in the hallway.
How many more could there possibly be?
They're
don't
dead.
know.
They're all
Not
dead.
as many.
Ferris got exactly what he wanted.
What do you think? We
Wait, hold
try
on.
and clear it
now.
out?
The only gnoll I had any personal investment in killing was that damned Nash.
Now's not the fucking time, all right? What do you say? We go back in, finish them off?
Yes, we could. It's dangerous. You look like you're about ready to fall apart, and I'm not doing much better. But we need to go in there. We can't let our food go to waste.
Yeah.
If we get attacked in the forest
Grimes
tonight,
fits.
would be...
So I heard the howling of wolves, right, when he tried to negotiate with them. Mm-hmm. I say there are almost certainly still wolves left inside.
Okay.
This is a messy business to leave unfinished.
Yep.
Now,
So I'm gonna ask.
We're putting the
William-
dogs down.
All right,
I'm
should we
gonna
make some
ask
more
William to take
Molotovs?
point.
Should we make some more Molotovs before we go in?
No, they're
Not sure if it would do us much good. There's not many left. Might as well just put them to the sword.
All right, so I ready a javelin and have my shield up and start.
Yeah. And I'll go behind him with my bow at the ready.
I think we pull Yaramir just inside the doorway. and
Thank you. I was
begin,
about to say, can I be near the fire so I don't freeze to death?
We put
and
the
I guess
lantern
we
by
head
your
back
face.
down the dungeon.
All right.
All right.
You get your shit
I
together. Do you have
take-
your... What
Well,
exactly
you're-
is it that you're doing? Be very
We're-
clear. Like, so you are coming in with
I think
Molotovs,
we-
you're coming in
we
with
most-
weapons.
Yeah, and we
weapons.
just want to make sure if there's anything left in the immediate area, we're gonna kill it.
I mean, I
And then
think
we
we're
mostly just
running
want to
back-
get our stuff back.
I think we're running back through the dungeon for cleanup, aren't we?
Yeah, we just want to clear up anything
Or
in the
at
immediate
least
area.
scouting.
Ferris just wants to get the food that was left behind because we need that food.
I don't think we can camp out in the forest.
No, I think we're they're well. Let's poke down the hall and see. But I think they're dead. We're sleeping
All right.
here.
Yeah.
You start to poke your way into this hall, and it becomes readily apparent that any gnolls that were here have backed out. They are not in this.
Okay.
Oh god, that is the wrong thing to move. They are not in this little region that you guys were in a moment ago.
Sure, yeah, but I
they're
think we still
gone.
need to try and clear out.
Yeah. So I think William's gonna take a
God,
point with.
this hallway is a. It's a mask. I mean, what do you mean? We looked at. There's gnolls everywhere. There's like 8 dead in this hallway and 2 wolves. This is like a scene from a horror movie.
There's still more.
What is that? What is that noise?
That's your footsteps as you move through the hallway.
All right.
You guys are fine.
Yeah. So
there,
William's
now
taking
you-
point with Grimes and Ferris behind
All
them.
right.
I think Grimes is in front of William at this point.
Let's just
Will
let's
is
just check down here first. Make sure none went down this way.
none are hiding. Sure, yeah. So
None
I've got
are
the light.
hiding.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
We're
looking
gonna
down.
make
Ferris
this
doesn't
just
see
go a
anything.
little bit faster for the sake of time. By the time you make your way through the whole maze, they're gone.
Okay.
They're nowhere to be found.
Can we? So,
So
I'll
is
go
Nash
to-
is Nash still lying on the ground where there was the big fight?
No, Nash
Nash
and
is gone?
Bokassa's bodies are missing.
really?
Oh,
Well-
we do a search for it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll look around
got-
the temple, I guess, a little bit.
Ooh.
All right.
All right. So yeah.
So let's bring everyone's view over here,
Okay.
and let's
Good.
bring.
God.
Can we just unveil the map now that we're not in immediate?
No. This is too fun, right? We should.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I think Yaramir is left at the. And maybe we left
that a closed
Yaramir.
door?
On the
Is this
ground.
I'm just
door
bringing
to our right,
Yaramir
Neal?
with you guys so he can see what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I just don't want
Is
him to
this
be
a-
left out.
Is this a door
Okay,
to the
so
right, Neil?
you hear
Yes,
Grimes.
that is the door to your
yeah,
bottom.
Grimes
So
is draw.
I poke my head in here
drops.
and don't see anyone. I poke my head in here and don't see anyone. So I'm gonna go
Well,
check the door.
guys, you ought to see this.
Yeah. As you're looking up north, where Grimes is looking, not only is there a hallway littered with bones and bodies and a bone throne, but hanging behind the wall on the bone throne is a most bizarre sight. Something you probably weren't ever expecting to see out here in Caledonia.
What is it?
There is this 5x5 like square of beaten metal coins that have been like hammered into this square and dangling above the throne. You can see silvers and golds and coppers and maybe even platinum, or maybe that's just dingy silver, you're not sure. Like hammered into this 5 foot by 5 foot sheet hanging above the throne.
Well, looks like we've made our first profitable expedition.
Where do they get these coins from?
I'm not sure, but before we go any further, we need to check the door to the south. I don't want these gnolls to get away.
What's with this door, Neal?
Yeah. Grimes
is going to get up against the corner here.
And then...
it is a stone door.
There we go. All right.
Is there a keyhole, or is it just completely...
There is a keyhole as well as a brass handle to it.
Is there like a...
How does it... Sorry, go on.
Does it look like there's a... Can I just open it? Ferris is going to try and like push the door open.
Yeah, it just opens.
Okay.
Oh.
So he pushes it open and just kind of like hangs back and peeks around the corner.
Okay. All right. There is just a single room in there with a very large polar bear pelt.
Nice. To be honest, these pelts would probably be quite valuable. We might need to come back at a later date.
Is it in good condition, Neal?
Well, let's talk about all the polar bear pelts, because there's a whole bunch other in the eastern room.
Yeah.
Hang on, though. I rally the troops. I think we should go back to the other entrance and see if we can't catch them trying to flee.
Yeah, I mean, we're continuing to explore. You can tell us about the polar bear pelts, Neal.
While we move, yeah.
Sure. I was going to kind of hope you guys would do it. You got to take your time to examine the pelts, but we'll say you do it anyway.
Are these stairs?
We just want to...
Okay, then we have to take our time to examine the pelts. We'll do that
Sure,
later.
there are 15 pelts in total, but 6 of them are completely worthless. Just like,
Okay.
Sure.
they wouldn't be able to sell. I mean, they'd be nice to sleep on, but they would not sell for anything back home. The others are all in average condition. Grimes, at some point, you can make me an appraisal check to...
Yeah, that is definitely not now.
Yeah.
So
They've
that
been
was,
carrying
was that
2
fire
bodies
lit?
with them. Yeah.
That fire was lit, Neal?
Yes. Yes, it was smoldering.
That's a good point. Do we see like a trail of blood?
All the things you see here are the things you see.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I
but
mean,
if
so there's no
carrying
like
their
trail of
vessels
blood
with
from them carrying these 2 like
think
heavily
we've-
wounded bodies, right?
There's
think
no
we've-
obvious trail, no, but there's just a lot of blood in the hallway. Most of it dried.
Okay. So
I
Ferris is
think
gonna
we
like.
found the bone chamber.
Yeah, let's just keep going, though. If
God,
that's
this
a
reminds me of like a dwarf fortress base.
So this is the way back out, right? So
This
I
is
want
the
to...
exit, yeah.
All right. So Ferris is gonna poke out the exit and see if he sees any like gnolls running off into the distance.
You can see a whole bunch of footprints and drag marks that head down and kind of down
All right.
towards
So
the
as
switchback
a
road.
tracker, I want to see how many unique sets of footprints there are.
Ooh, give me a tracking check. Just roll it, and I'll go look
14, I
into
believe.
see
Yeah,
how
let me-
many bonuses and penalties you
We
get
can't
to
see
it.
them, though, Neal.
That's
I mean,
what I was
we are-
about to argue, right?
we
We're
are
looking like
bouncy
down a mountainside, right?
Right.
And,
I mean, they are
like a
carrying 2
mile of
bodies with them. They're probably
switchbacks
moving fairly
going
slow.
down to the base or something like that.
But for the check, I failed that, so I hope we can see them in the distance.
Let's see. You will get bonuses for the number. So, soft or muddy ground is snow. So, yeah, you can definitely see. So, that's +4 for that.
Okay, so 20.
For every 2 creatures in the group, you get a bonus as well.
So that will put me up to passing.
It'll
as long
put
as
you
there's
up
2.
to passing, yeah. And I just want to see how far past you go so I can know how much information to give you. There are... Okay. So,
I mean, at a glance, does it look like a whole shit ton of footprints, or does it look like there's like 5 sets, maybe?
no, it looks like there's roughly 10.
Okay.
Roughly 10 creatures.
Yeah.
Wolves, gnolls, it's hard to tell. There's also a clear drag mark, as if they are dragging something behind them.
So I relay this and say that most of these 10 are likely not fighters. They probably would have been involved in the scrap in the place. Most likely children, women.
What you do see out of this this viewpoint, this portalway, is a fairly open area where these tracks have clearly gone towards a switchback that goes down the mountain. Now, you were going through this chamber fairly carefully, and you stopped to examine a few things, and from the drag marks, you can tell that these gnolls are booking it. And they've got a pretty good head start on you.
They would have had to take time to lash up whatever they're dragging, and they were a couple rounds ahead of us, so that
they have a few minute head start on you, definitely.
Harris is gonna peer down the switchback staircase and see if he can see them still going down.
So it's not quite just a staircase; it's more of like a hiking trail. There are trees along the mountainside as well, so I'm going to need you to make me a perception check to see if you can spot anything.
So 14 for that. 31.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's going to pass any check that they make to hide themselves. Yes, you can indeed see partway down the mountain, going at a probably dangerously fast pace, is this group of roughly 10 figures. You know, they're moving in and out of trees and in and out of sight, so you can't get an exact number on them.
Do I see them dragging Bokassa?
It looks like there are some sort of rudimentary sleds that they have with a few bodies on them.
Okay, so Ferris sees these sleds and has the epiphany of holy shit, sled technology. And from there, I'm gonna see if I can spot Bokassa on either of those sleds. And is he like in range that I could shoot him with an arrow?
Technically they're within range, but they have a lot of cover and concealment because it's not a clear shot, right? It's a forested trees. Mountainside.
Okay, so I relay where they are, and I ask if we want to chase after.
I mean, fire some shots, but I don't think we can chase them.
Okay,
Right,
I'm just gonna make a Hail Mary, see if I can loose one arrow.
Sure, they've got like
into
90% cover.
So I'll just see if I get a natural 20.
Yeah.
No, almost.
Ooh, so close. No.
Maybe +3, so 21. He'd have 10 AC, right?
No, because he would still have his armor on. Like he would have to have
so it'd be 14
off.
Is his AC? Because I'd be at 21, so if it's -7, I think it is for 90%.
No, it's -10 for 90%.
Okay, so I would still miss.
So your Hail Mary shot like goes right between the trees and clinks off of his bow and armor, and you can see there's a pause for a moment as the gnolls like look around, and then someone tosses a shield over Bokassa's body.
Damn it.
And they just keep going.
The bastard's still alive. We need to kill him.
He's bleeding out, right? They would
think he's likely bandaged. I didn't see blood pooling up or anything, did I? I had a pretty good perception check.
No, but again, he's on like a shield, so or on some sort of thing to move him, so any blood would be.
They likely bandaged him. We can do the same for Yarmir. Why can't they do the same for their kin? They might be savages, but they're not completely mundane.
So I think William takes a few steps towards the switchback and then sort of like collapses to one knee, holding his side where he's been like stabbed. Says, I think I need to rest.
Come back inside.
Let's talk
we'll
HP
get that fire
here.
Going.
William, you're at 1.
Yeah.
Grimes, what are you at?
I'm fine. 8, I think.
I'm at 3.
Yep, 8.
Okay. So I think maybe you guys decide better.
For sure.
Maybe you could get them, but also maybe a single hit from any one of them could kill any one of you.
Yep. Yeah. So I think we go back.
Okay.
So I think I go and...
So you've got time to explore this thing now.
Yeah.
I'll go and fetch Yarmir's body if no one else has, and set him next to this fire in this hallway here.
Bring some of the fires in here, maybe.
Yeah.
Some of the damaged ones.
I'll eventually get to inventorying all the valuables, but I think I want to keep exploring the cave first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we get Yarmir set up, and then we slowly explore the cave.
I think the big thing that you guys want to take a look at is that room you're looking in right now.
So we're camping here, right?
Yeah, we'll camp.
Oh, did they take the big bag of food that they had, that Nash had on them, or did they leave that behind?
No, that's left behind.
Okay, I don't give a shit about Nash. I just wanted the food.
So
they took Nash's body, though, right?
Yeah.
Which was food in itself. Although, actually, there's enough gnolls for you to eat for a fucking lifetime,
And
fucking monsters, man. So yeah, there is a huge bone chamber.
What kind of bones?
What the hell is this?
Likely where they dumped their refuse.
Yeah,
that'd be my first guess.
You can see seal bones. You can see animal, like rabbit bones, bird bones, gnoll bones, kobold bones. There are all sorts of bones. Most of them are picked pretty clean, but the ones closest to you and some of the ones on top, you can still smell the rot on as like the meat.
So it sounds gross,
part.
but I want to just sort of make sure that there's no like hidden trapdoors under this pile of huge bones.
Okay.
With 1 HP, you want to search for traps?
No, not traps. Trapdoors.
Oh,
Like,
right.
there's a big pile of bones and there's actually like a ladder down there or something.
You accidentally like prick your finger on a bone,
So, I mean,
take
I'm
one
more
damage,
just,
fall
like-
to your death.
Yeah, there's a
got,
rusty
like-
knife in there somewhere. You're gonna get tetanus.
I've got like my
Catch some
javelin. I'm just
awful
like knocking them.
disease from one of these bodies.
There are no traps under there.
okay.
It'll take you maybe half an hour, maybe even a full hour to dig through everything, but there's no trapdoors.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna head back in that back toward like all this pelts and everything. And Ferris is gonna start dragging those null bodies out the exit into the snow to preserve the meat.
Oh, gross. All right, you can do that on your own. There was another wing that we missed, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna give you full vision of the map at this point.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we just take up camp in this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
I still think
we're
that
gonna
there
rest
must
here
be
probably for a week or so.
Yeah.
Well, where they've got these coins and stuff from. I mean, all right, maybe it's the wall that they were talking about, or maybe they've got it from another level in this place.
It's possible.
Am I supposed
Did we
to
see any other like
here?
passages in this place, Neal?
Here. Everyone can see the full map now.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So I think Ferris is going to, he's gonna like pile all these bodies out in the snow and like bury them in snow, like pile snow on top of them to make sure that the meat stays cold and frozen. And then he's gonna take one in and get to work on butchering it. Says, I hope you two won't be picky. We're not exactly flush with food. And it's not like we have
that you brought with yourselves.
I mean, I've got rations, yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna. I'll-
Some, but we're gonna be staying here for a week, aren't we?
So
Maybe for a while.
We'll take it.
let's
day by day.
talk a little bit about this place. This tomb, despite having a nice wind corridor that runs through it, is buried in the mountain, which gives it mostly a fairly pleasant ambient temperature. It's not actually all that cold inside of here when the wind's not blowing through it, when you're not standing where like Grimes is in the middle of everything, and sometimes a gust of wind will blow through it. The rest of the area is actually a pretty respectable temperature, like 20 degrees centigrade, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. I'm not sure about my conversions. Is that right? 20 CF? Maybe that's a little warm, but it's warm enough that you don't need to worry about freezing to death.
Cool.
It'll be fine. And I would like an appraisal check from Ryan.
Yes, that's
One appraisal check for the pelts, one appraisal check for the battered sheet of coins, and there's one other thing I want to tell you about that you find buried amongst the wolf pelts.
okay. So I fail the pelts, I think.
It's a 19
Oh,
and a 14.
I fail the coins. And you want to? Was there a third thing you
Well,
wanted?
there's a third thing. Yeah, you find stacked in that room with all of the pelts in it. These, I don't know how to describe them to you other than as 6 sets of skis, which to you are these random, bizarre things that you don't even understand what they are. And unfortunately, you don't have Grimes Nash here to show you how to use them. But there are 6 sets of skis.
They do have
here.
like footholds and stuff in them, right?
Not in the modern skis ways. There's like some straps on them.
yeah, they look
It's-
like some.
Yeah, I
piece
think
of
without
wood, perhaps.
somebody here to show you what these are just kind of like bizarre things lying around that don't make any sense to you. Probably some sort of like knoll totem or whatever.
Yeah, I think we'll probably leave them there. Although I do sort the pelts by value, although I can't gauge their value, but I at least figure out which ones are worth keeping.
Sure. Easy done.
And I guess I remove the coins from the wall and get that packed for travel. Although I'm guessing
They're like
I have no
hammered
sense of-
together. It's one giant mass of coins that weighs like 260 pounds.
Oh,
Shit.
jeez.
So actually, I was going to ask you for this exact reason, Neal. Are there any sleds that were left behind?
No, there's no sleds. You're not sure what they were using as a makeshift sled.
Okay.
a shield
So
that
I
could've
did
been-
see. I saw them like dragging something like
Yeah,
sled-like
they were-
through the snow, and I kind of.
I mean, I'm using sled as a broad term.
Right.
Everyone knows it's
I'm getting-
easier to drag something than yeah.
So I'll drop my pack obviously, and I'm gonna grab the 260-pound thing of coins, and I want to bring it to Are we hanging out by the fire, or should we hang out with all the pelts?
Probably the fire. I'm not particularly excited about cuddling up with Neal's bed.
So I wanna look at the coins. Is there enough? I mean, I know they've been hammered in, but is there any detail left on the coins? Can I work out what kingdom they belong to, or?
Sure, most of the coins are too badly beaten to recognize any faces on them, but there are a few that still can be seen. You see some copper, silver, and gold coins with bold lines and the faces of kings on them. About 10% of them still have visible details, and 2% of those 10% have good detail. And then there's these other silverish, platinum-ish looking coins that don't have any faces, but have these really gentle, delicate patterns that look like roots and branches intertwining.
Can I roll a heraldry check? Heraldry.
No.
Not for the roots, but for the kings.
Any faces on... go ahead. Give me a heraldry check, actually.
Just
That's
because,
fine.
like a legendary king from another continent might still be caught.
Yeah, go for it.
28.
28 is pretty damn solid. You do recognize these as human faces, and they look like they are of a Caledonian make. They're definitely foreign to any coin that you've seen handed around back in your homeland of Arcadia. But you can't make out any specific faces or recognize who they might have been.
The ancient kings of Caledonia.
Yeah.
Looking at those,
I see the ones with like roots and branches, right?
Mm-hmm. There's only one that has really good detail of roots and branches, and a few others that have some detail.
Neal, when as soon as I've done that, then I'm gonna hobble over to the tomb over here in the storage area, and it looks like there's a visage of like a person on this main tomb. It's not by any counts the same person that's on the coin, is it?
No, is not the same person that you see on the
Nash mentioned
coins.
a shrine to the first Knoll King. I'll relay it to the party. I don't know if that's
Does it look like a human?
Here, or if maybe his.
The inscription is definitely a human on this sarcophagus.
So what does it say?
There's no person, there's no words, but there's a person inscribed on it.
And
Are
it's
there any
still
like words
sealed?
inscribed in this temple that look like they might be Old Common?
There are areas that look like they have been chipped away, like there might have been words, but in the past 1,500 years, the gnolls have scratched out the words.
Fucking savages.
Are there any carvings on any of the walls, or they've all been vandalized? It looks like there were once.
There is
released.
massive vandalism across everything. You would call it vandalism, they would call it home decorating.
So this
And
has
you complain that we killed a lot of them.
This sarcophagus, it's not open.
Yeah. Does it look like it's been opened, Neal? Like, can I see signs of wear around the edges of as if it had been opened and closed repeatedly, or has it been left alone?
There are signs of wear, but it is significantly less than everything else. And it has been here for at the bare minimum 1,500 years, exposed to the air blowing through. So there's going to be some wear, even if no one has touched it in forever. But the wear is pretty minimal.
So I guess I'm standing there with Grimes. What do you make of this, Grimes?
Looks like some poor chap's final resting place.
Do you think it's weird that the gnolls wouldn't open it?
Perhaps they put their own king in the box.
Perhaps we
I
should
think
avoid opening this box until
I
we've
think this
rested
is
up and
as
gained some
Grimes
hit
is
points.
like getting his leverages together to slide the lid off.
Ferris says, like, perhaps we should wait until we've rested and regained some strength.
What, you think a Knoll's waiting in there to jump out and...
Did our Arcanist not mention death that was greatly bound to this place? I said we'd best worry about the living before the dead, but now that the living have all vacated the place, I think we ought worry about the dead.
All right, I think maybe Faris is right. Let's take a couple of days.
We're going to go to our next break.
Yeah, Grimes' eyes narrow, and you're not sure if you'll be able to keep him from opening the sarcophagi when you...
All right. We'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye. Wait. No, almost.